In the year 5000 BC, in the fertile Crescent in Middle East, agriculture was first developed.
For thousands of years, hunting and gathering were the main ways of survival. If there was a bad season, the people of that time period starved and had no steady supply of food.
Slowly, as the last ice age ended, the weathers grew warmer. Fields of grain, mainly wheat and barley, grew lusciously and sowed itself year after year. The nomads first gathered the grain, but as they stayed and lingered longer, sometimes for months in a row, they built longer-lasting shelters.
Very gradually, they became attached to places they had settled. For so long, they started building permanent houses. By some way, they discovered that grain could grow into seedlings. Maybe the grain got damp and spotted. Maybe they washed the wild wheat. But we're not sure how it happened, but they did find out.
In heavy, fragile clay pots that was inconvenient for carrying and kept butchered meat fresh by hanging it into a lake. Scientists have experimented this and found out that meat keeps fairly fresh for several months. They also created what is now called silos, an underground pit where grain and other foods are stored in. Storing food meant that people had to stay constantly near to protect it from animals and other tribes. Their houses also changed as they settled. Instead of portable light tents, they used stronger materials that was firmly built into the ground. Above, you can see the remains of the first permanent shelter.
Of course, the earliest farmers did not have modern tools. They used stone, mainly filled, or weapons, and fastened rocks to make handles by binding them with lever strips. In fact, they invented what we call today the hoe, a two-pronged, thick fork used to turn over dirt. Later on, the hoe developed into a plow that had a blunt blade to cut through the earth. The sickle was also used to cut grain. It is shaped like a loom with a sharp blade. There was also the sieve, which was a big woven net that separated the hulls from the grain. Grain was placed on the net and tossed into the air. The lighter hulls were blown away in the air, while the heavier grain stayed. Shovels are important tools in present day. So, what in the past? Instead of a shovel, they had a digging stick. This was used to dig up roots and other edible plants.
Why did the hunters and gatherers settle down? Traveling around seems pretty cool. Well, people in the past didn't have a reliable source of food. They couldn't just visit a supermarket. They had to depend on the weather, the mastodon herds, and the plants. It was easy to miss a harvest of berries or fruits. Hunters didn't have a large chance